Hello friends, neighbors, John your whiskey neighbor here. Welcome down to the Nook. It's Saturday and we only have a few of these before St. Patrick's Day, and I thought I really haven't talked to you guys about Irish in a while. So I've got a couple here to kick us off, and I think it's safe to say the next few weekends I'm going to be bringing some Irish into the conversation. So today I'm going to talk about this. It's actually both of these are sourced. This is Hyde Irish whiskey, but it's finished in stout casks. And then this, I've got the Cask strength blender's cut of the Two Stacks blended whiskey that came into our market a little while ago. And I have talked to you about Two Stacks, but I haven't talked to you about how it comes together in a blender's cut or a full cask strength release. So why don't you pour a little Irish, something maybe finished in a stout cask or some cask strength stuff or anything Irish, and come on back. 3, 4. Thanks for coming back. As I was saying in the opener, these are actually both blenders that bring together Irish whiskey that they choose from a variety of distillers. They may recask or they may just blend and release and mature. Depends on how they're doing it. Hyde here, my understanding of this, I think it bears a number on it, 1640 stout cask finish. This one is about a 75% 4-year-old single grain aged in first fill bourbon, ex-bourbon cask, 25% single malt that's been aged in ex-Oloroso casks. I don't know the fill number. And then they're put back together and in essence, married in a cask that had some stout beer. Oh, what was the company? Could have been Cotton Ball. So I don't really know the beer company. It's not a beer that I have around here. But the point is they took their, mostly single grain, 75%, 25% single malt, and then put it kind of re-aged, married in cask for like 5-6 months. It's released at 43% and it is non-chill filtered. I don't know if it's natural color. It's nice and pale, and with all that casking going on, I could certainly believe it is natural color. But if you know, why don't you comment down below? So this is Hyde 1640 stout cask finish Irish whiskey. Coming back to Irish whiskey, I always find it a little lighter, a little fruitier, maybe a little buttery, toffee. This one has light, bright fruits, just on that edge of a brighter apple, green apple, maybe slight apricot. Now, apricot might be too much, but that sweeter fruit. I don't really get any stout malt beer notes in the nose. Just sweet and quite inviting. Try it on the palate. Sláinte. Pretty clean palate. I think that would appeal to a lot of people. It's rather bright. Again, that interplay between light fruit. Here I actually do get a bit of a malt character, which is nice because there's only 25% malt in here. The early finish has to be where the stout cask is coming from. And maybe even my comment about the malt might be where it's coming from, because it does feel a little light espresso, light chocolate, a little bit of creaminess, a bit of chocolate wafer. Well, no, vanilla, but some wafer, like just a little bit of texture to it. Another quick sip. That is not bad. I haven't had it in a while and realized I hadn't talked to you guys about it, so I thought I'd blow the dust off and give it a go. The criticism for me is there's a little bit of bitterness, or I've often said mechanical, or it's not medicinal, but mechanical or industrial water note that I kind of get on the back end, and it can play back into the palate. With the second sip, I actually noticed it kind of while I was drinking. So it starts really, really well. Nice light fruit, and the early first finish is quite nice too. A little bit of coffees or chocolates, and then some of that maltiness, which is nice. And I'll stay by that. But there is something in here that creeps up on me now that I've had it again here, that I remember going, oh yeah, that's why I didn't love it. It's good. But it's good only like 3.5 stars good. Well, we'll see, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get another bottle. but not bad. So coming over here to Two Stacks. Now you've seen me talk about Two Stacks, the dram in a can that came out a while ago, and I know it's a little gimmicky, but it's kind of fun. This bottle here, though, is the same liquid, I believe, but in a cask strength version. So it's a monster. I have to look it up. Is it 65%? Man, I can't remember now, but it's got a lot of ABV in there. But what's really cool about this blend that they put together is it's got a lot going on. I'll probably pick up the bottle and read the back so I get it right, but well, I'll go for it. I think it's about, it's got a lot of grain, light grain, dark grain, that have been spending some time in ex-bourbon. Then it's got like a pot still, I think like about 8% that was in ex-Oloroso. And then it's got some single malt. I think the single malt was also ex-bourbon, and the peated part, there's about 2% peated in here was ex-bourbon. Oh, no, 40% of the grain was aged in new oak. So there's new oak, there's ex-bourbon, there's ex-Oloroso, and then there's the grain, there's pot still, there's single malt, and then there's a tiny bit, like 2% of peated. And what was it? Yeah, 65% ABV. Now, you know, if you really want to know more about this, you got to run over and check out Lost in Translation podcast. They did a whole episode, I think, interviewing the guys who put this together, and they're hysterical. You should definitely subscribe to them. And recently, a couple of those guys made, you know, PWS Imports, great place that's bringing great whiskey to Alberta. I definitely enjoyed the dram in a can, but how does it come together in a cask strength version? Let's try it on the nose. This is significantly richer. Now, it's also significantly more alcohol than 43%. It is strong and somewhat powerful, but here I'm getting a darker or deeper fruit. So we get like sultana raisins, or, you know, something, whatever would be a thicker, not quite fig, but, you know, some kind of fruit that has that richness or that extra like texture. It also smells just, it's not quite smoke, but a little bit, there's a little bit of almost fuel in here, but in a nice way. Like, I know fuel can be a really, like a pungent, that's not what I'm trying to say, but there is like a rich, almost smoke oil here that goes with a thicker fruit, deeper fruit, right away on the nose. Let's try it on the palate. Sláinte. For 65%, it's quite impressive how I can keep that. I don't mean I'm quite impressive. I mean, the whiskey is impressive that I can still curl it around and get good flavor notes on it. I can't do it much until the alcohol just will overwhelm my taste buds. It's just how biology works. But right now, it is a really good, thicker, almost chewy whiskey that's got a nice interplay of dark, thick, rich fruits. And there's a little bit of earthiness or substance that I'm going to go for that peat. I get it. Actually, I almost get it more in the lighter version in the can, but it starts to speak, especially on the finish. At 65%, I definitely would say this needs a little bit of water. You need to find the right ABV where you're going to enjoy it most. I'll try another quick sip. That one spoke more of the grain, some malt in there. I'm still getting quite a rich variety of fruit. Like, I could start with an orchard, but I'm definitely going to get into like a sultana raisin or a little bit of fig. I get that smoke earth note that's coming from that light bit of peat, and but there's still a sweetness, not as much vanilla as I expected with that new oak. I thought, but there's some. Now that I've said the word, you know, we're all susceptible even to our own biases. I'll say something and then I'll taste it more, but I definitely got a little bit more oak across the finish. Well, this is a great whiskey for me. And it could be because I like whiskeys with a little more story and character like that. And it takes me some time to truly appreciate even brilliant Irish whiskeys that are typically triple distilled, ex-bourbon, you know, lighter, a little bit more, you know, sweet floral, that kind of note. It takes me a while to get to that place. This has a lot more mud, dirt, oil, fruit, character going on. And I absolutely love it. If this is 3.5, this is pushed all the way to 4.25. It's just a great, great whiskey. And I know it's still around in Alberta, so if you can get it, I certainly, if anything that I said about that, now is it strong and powerful? And if you're looking for typical Irish that's a little bit more in that light floral and fruit, it may not be your whiskey. I think it's a great whiskey. Thanks for joining me down here. And as I said, I don't know what I'll do for samples, but certainly I think for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to talk to you about some good Irish whiskey. Thanks for joining me. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Take care.